and welcome back to episode 6 of Minimal Maxing. We have about 6.5 hours left on DXP, and we're going to start off today by doing some Herblore training to unlock overloads for our account. As we are approaching level 26, we are going to unlock energy potions, which will be our next training method. These energy potions are going to give us a lot more experience each, so I'm just setting up my preset here. And as you see, we are now getting 160 experience per potion, which is really good for our level. As you see, we already got 27 within the first about 5 or 6 potions. I've also decided to activate my Premier artifact here. It's going to give 10% more base experience for an hour. So that puts our total experience for this up to 169. It's 38 Herblore, which is the end of our energy potions. Now we're going to be moving on to prayer potions, which will give us 221 experience each now instead of the 169 we were getting before. So here is 49 Herblore, and this is a pretty big unlock as it unlocks the Scroll of Cleansing, which is a must-have for higher level Herblore training. So we're going to take the Ring of Kinship now and go buy the Scroll of Cleansing, as we have the tokens from our Elite Dungeon grind. Basically, what this scroll does is it saves 10% of all secondaries and has a 1 in 8 chance of you making a potion in 1 tick instead of 2 ticks. So I'm going to read it right away and get back to Herblore training in Lumbridge. And with that, we have 52 Herblore, so we're going to be moving on to super energy potions, which are going to give us about 300-ish experience each. So again, it's another about 33% increase over what we previously had. Yeah, 303 experience. With 55, we're going to be moving on to super strength potions, as they will give us slightly more experience. There is 64 Herblore. That's probably the last level we're going to get here before we switch to super restores, which we unlocked last level. Now we got our red spider eggs and snapdragon potions. Here's level 69 Herblore. Nice. And there's level 70. I've made a bit of an executive decision here on what I'm going to be doing for the rest of DXP. And it is as follows. So pulse cores can boost you up to 10% of your current level. So what I'm going to be doing is getting my Herblore up to level 88, so I can get the pulse core boost to 96 and make about 100 overloads for when I start doing real combat with Slayer. So one benefit of the Premier Club is this Premier Vault. We have 1 minute to loot as much as we can in here. I actually don't really know the meta for this, but I'm just going to go around clicking chests. We get lamps and stars and that sort of stuff. Silver Rock Down is basically just saving money. It is about like 500k, but that was a pretty good chest. I'd consider that a successful run. Just a little tip, if you're ever in these situations, always use your lamps first, because the lamps will give you higher levels.
So the lamp goes up, we're now level 39. Now the BXP is based on a level 39 skill instead of a level 37 skill. We are up to 72, so we can switch over to our ranging potions. But I'm just going to finish off the super restores that I have now. 75 Herblore. We're going to be fishing a divine salmon bubble today, as it's going to be getting us some fishing levels, as we need to prioritize that. Additionally, I want to get some levels so that the bonus experience I do gain in that skill is more than if it was stuck on level 39. And that's the end of our fishing today. We are almost level 44. So I'm back at Herblore and I've made a change. I'm now going to be doing super defense potions because they're about 95% of the XP per hour, but they are 6,000 less loss per potion. So I consider that a very worthwhile change. While I'm focusing mostly on XP per hour on this account, there are some lines I'm not going to cross. There we have it, level 80 in Herblore. That is our fourth skill above 80.
85 Herblore, only a couple more levels to go.
And there we have it, 88 Herblore. Technically not overloads unlocked, but overloads unlocked once we get the pulse core boost. I seem to have made a bit of a calculation error. Seems as though the boost at 88 is only +7, so we're going to have to go to 86 or 89, but I'm going to make all the extremes right now. So there we have it, we have 89 Herblore, which should now get boosted up to 96.
So while we're waiting for our Artisan's boost from the Pulse Core, I'm just doing some fletching training as we got up to 51 from it. Oh, and there's the Artisan's boost, so we can start making our overloads. So I'm just gonna quickly grind these out. It'll take about a couple boosts to actually get these done, but they are a very quick experience, as we're getting about 10,000 every 10 seconds.
There we have it, our overloads are made. We ended up with 107 3 doses. Not really sure what we'll do with the remaining hour 15 of DXP. Maybe some construction to get up to 75 for houses, or some wines just because they're expensive and good to do on DXP. So I had completely forgotten that the Christopher Rav quest requires 64 strength. So we're gonna go get that done before we move on to our remaining DXP items. We got our Masuda's War Spear, which will be our tier 82 weapon, which is why we got 82 attack. Put on our Bandos, and we're going to ready up in the group, and we'll get teleported. We have it, they both die at the same time. We're already up to level 60. 3 more to go. There we go, we've hit them all, so now we can come here and put our chins back on and get them all killed. And there we have it, 65 strength. That's basically all I wanted to get done on DXP weekend. So what I want to do now is show off a mistake I made earlier. I completely forgot that wines exist, and wines give over 1 million base experience per hour, but they can be done as low as level 35. But I didn't do them, and instead I did regular fish all the way to 70. That probably took an extra hour, so I burned an hour on a mistake training cooking. But let's just see how good it is on this account now that we can do it. So here you get 1 experience every time you add wine to it. And I'm just going to change the preset up slightly so that the wine and grape are beside each other at the top, and I can just click them on each other. And then when it ferments, we get a 6,000 XP drop. So there's currently there's basically about 109 when I started doing this. Let's see how high we get to use the 2,000 wines. We already got a cooking level up to 71, and it's been like 2 minutes. And 72. We're up to 73 cooking and 74 cooking. If we look at the timestamps here, it took just over 3 minutes to go from 73 to 74 cooking. This will probably be a similar amount of time. And there we have it, 78 cooking. This is going to be our last level gained. With the final 30 minutes of DXP, I'm going to do construction. I want to get to 75. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I'm going to go do construction up to 75. So I have a gilded altar in my own house. There we go. There's the last wine. It took just under half an hour to do the 2,000 wines. We gained our first level already. Remember, you count 4 builds between sending them away. I think that was the 4th. And that way you keep a full inventory and don't send them too many times. 2, 3, 4. Talk, fetch, go. Just becomes a rhythm to get into, and it becomes pretty easy. 71 cooking obtained, or construction obtained. 4 to go. We have 72 construction.
$73 construction obtained. That means that our new training method is available. It's in the aquarium, where we're going to be making float Sam prawn brokers. As you see, we're going to rotate it so that it's closest to the entrance. This takes 8 mahogany planks to build, so assuming you don't miss any ticks, it's a 33% increase. The biggest difficulty is that there's this prawn perks button, so the remove is in a different location, so it just takes a little bit longer to get used to. Additionally, with the butler on this one, you need to send him back every single time he comes back, because you're going to be limited by how many planks he can get to you, because it takes him 10 seconds to give you 26 planks, and you can build in that time. So you just make sure you get him right away, and if you get perfect clicks, you should have a similar amount of planks in your inventory.
Here we have 75 construction, which is enough to get our gilded altar in our house. But I'm going to keep going because there's only 18 minutes of DXP left, and I'm unlikely to get anything else done. There we have it, the final 5 seconds. And DXP is done. Or I have a couple more minutes. There we go. Our DXP time has run out.
Be done. That's going to conclude today's episode. It's a little bit shorter in terms of the amount of progress done than I would normally like in an episode, but as is going to be a major tonal shift in the next episode where we focus heavily on questing, I thought it was sensible to put a cut in here. We'll still be doing some minor training in rune crafting and prayer and hunter and our dailies, so there'll still be some non-quest XP gain, but our main focus is now going to be on quests.